Okay, welcome back. We are still going on with the problem and the solution that were offered by Stresemann, and the other problem was massive reparations. Remember, Germany was forced to pay heavy reparation to the other government, that is Britain, France, because they were blamed to be the cause of the war. Now, Stresemann has come in and he came up with a solution. So he came up with a due plan, also restructured the reparation payment so that they were more affordable, less money each year, but paid for longer. So according to the due plan, they were supposed to pay this money for a longer period. In other words, the loan was now to spread for so many years, such that Germany will have enough time to get money and pay. The only problem is that this money, if you pay it for a longer duration, it means that the interest or the profit also increased or it was doubled. So it was good at that point because this gives Germany a bit more money to fund its recovery, because you know you are given more time. So you are not paying all the money you get per year, you don't pay all of it, you just pay little by little. But it had a problem because the reparation will not be fully paid until the 1980s. Imagine from 1923 all the way to 1980s, how many years are those? You find it meant that Germany was to become a slave of this loan for so many other years. So Germany still could not really afford this money. Even if it was reduced to which amount, Germany was not in a position to pay the money that they were supposed to pay annually, even if the reparation was taken for many years. And therefore, we can say that it increased the problem to Germany other than the way they were able to solve their problem. The other problem is that the other countries don't trust Germany. Just imagine, you are there, nobody can trust you. That means nobody wants to trade with you. Nobody wants to give you loans. Nobody wants to buy even your goods. What does that mean? It means that the country will only depend on what they are able to get within their country. But Stresemann came up with a solution. And the solution that he came up with, we find that Stresemann signed the Locarno Pact. This is an agreement, okay? Agreeing never to use violence to settle disputes again. So the Locarno Pact really give other countries what we call trust. They build trust with other countries because he agreed that his country will not settle disputes using violence. So the Young Plan in 1929 basically agreed to the terms of the Treaty of Versailles in exchange for another loan. That's another agreement. So apart from the Locarno Pact, in 1929, he signed another agreement we call the Young Plan, whereby he agreed that we are going to go by the Treaty of Versailles, but in exchange to get loans from the other countries. This was good because Germany was able to come back to the European politics again, and countries were now willing to talk to Germany and deal with her again. So this led to more trust, more help, more foreign money was coming now to Germany. So you can find that this one was a kind of change that really made Germany to be able to gain from foreign countries. But it was not that good because the Weimar Republic finally had to give in and accept the Treaty of Versailles. Remember, we have said that Hitler will come in power because you say, I'm ready to defy the Treaty of Versailles and still our economy stand. So many Germans hated the French and the British still for the harsh peace term, and therefore you find even if the Weimar Republic give in, the other or the majority of the Germany were not happy and therefore not ready to support the Weimar Republic, as they had now lowered down to the Treaty of Versailles. Now, I want you to remember something. For the exam, it is important to be able to say how far Stresemann policy helped the Germany recover. That's when I say this policy was good because, okay, that point you must put it in your mind. You need to know what these main solutions were and also how well they worked and what did not work. So you need to come up to look at both sides, why it was good and why it was not good. And the first thing you need to point out the solution. Am I clear? So this is a common question. Remember we said in IG we have questions that can give us a lot of marks if you study them well. And this is one of the questions that can be able to give you 6 marks at a go. And if you go to part B of the same question, you get 4 marks, that is 10 marks. And therefore, don't let such question skip your eyes. Okay? Now, I want to go on and I want to look at the golden age, that is 1924 to 1929. Why are we calling it a golden age? It is an age or a time where people, they are enjoying, when things are okay in Germany. So it is really important to know that this period is known as the Weimar Republic Golden Age. And the reason why is that Stresemann's policy managed to stabilize Germany and save it from the brink of collapse. So as a result, people became happier with the Weimar Republic government and less likely to support extreme parties like the Nazi. So this is the period where everything is seen to be moving in a normal way, and therefore it's owing majority of the republic to praise the Weimar Republic. Remember, in an exam question, the golden age will usually ask something like, how far was this period of recovery for Germany? Or 1924, 1929 has been described as the Weimar Republic's golden age. Do you agree? That's a question. So if you agree, you say yes. And you give it the importance or the reason why you agree. So it is also important that you know why it was seen as a golden age, and that you know that the problems still remain, so you can give a balanced argument. So you need to point the solution, why it is good and why it is bad. Then you give a conclusion whether you agree or you disagree. Remember, these questions, they come up with so many marks again. So the golden age. Let us look at the golden age and be able now to know how to answer such a question. So politics in the golden age. How was politics in the golden age? We are told that the government started to become more stable, and between 1924 and 1928, there were far fewer elections held because of disagreement. People were no longer supporting extreme party, fought for Nazi and communist went down. That is a good thing. And you find if people are able to come to elections with few disagreements, that's a good thing. But Hindenburg was elected president in 1925. He was openly against democracy and the republic, and his election was seen as people's voting for the old system of the Kaiser. And again, no party could get the majority, and therefore the government was still coalition, which often did not agree. So you find the politics in the golden age, we can say that they had good time and also bad time. The economy in the golden age, we can say that the economy during the golden age started doing well, and thanks to the Stresemann changes and the Daily Plan, production went to its highest level in that decade, and also Germany became a leading exporter in the world for manufactured goods. But on the other side, it was all based on American loan, which could be recalled at any time, and that was a mistake, and then you can say, oh dear. Unemployment was always a serious problem again, because they were not able to employ as many people as possible, and there were also a very big gap between the rich and the poor, because the rich continued becoming more and more rich while the poor continued becoming more poorer. Farming and agriculture did very badly during this time because the government was not able to support farming and agriculture, and therefore the problem of the economy still remained. And therefore we can say that economy during the golden age, at one side it was good, and on the other side it had some challenges. Having said that, I want us to meet in our next class where we'll be summarizing the issues of the golden age and looking at the questions that can be tested in our exam. Have a good day.